Share button doesn't work.
Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to round 13 of the Sheesh Racing League. We are in Hungary on the Hungaroring for today's race. And I'm going to pass right on over to my guy Kai. He's in the booth as always, and of course it's me, Aiden Potty. We're going to be hosting you for today. And yeah, right on over to you, Kai.
Okay, I'm just starting up my own stream, so Aiden, if you want to talk about something real quick or whatever, just maybe give me a minute or two.
No worries, I'll just walk you through who's racing today. So we have Maddie, we have Cameron, Cam, M15, Stigmatic Drip, OJD, and C. Burton. So a small group today. We have both of the Red Bull drivers, both of the BWT Racing Point drivers, and then we have Stigmatic Drip representing AlphaTauri, and we have OJD representing Alfa Romeo. And we're on board with we're on board with Cam at the moment, who, as you can see there, his lap is invalidated. So no one's set a time yet. His lap's invalidated. So I'm going to hop on down to Stigmatic, see how he's doing. He's just coming up into Sector 3 toward the finish. And there, C. Burton set a time, 1:16.7. So that's going to put him up into first for the moment. And Stigmatic Drip is just coming around that final turn, and we're going to see what he sets. And KM15 is going to have to go around again, and everybody else is still in the pits. So Stigmatic crosses, and so 125.5. So he's still behind Cole, but he's up into second. Maddie, Cameron, and OJD need to come out of the pits, and as I say that, Cameron is out for his out lap, and KM15 is going to have to make another trip around after invalidating his first time. But he just set the fastest time for that Sector 1 there. You can see, get that purple for from the line, the checkered line, all the way, almost like halfway to Sector 2 about. He had the fastest time there, so all of Sector 1. So he's doing good on this lap if he doesn't invalidate it again. I'm not really sure how strict this lap is, this track is. Maybe you do, Kai?
So, anyways, the Hungaroring is a track, obviously, in Hungary here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It is a pretty twisty and turny track. There are 14 corners here with 2 DRS zones. The capacity of the racetrack is 70,000 people. So obviously because of COVID, and Cam M15 is into the wall. Oh my god, that was a hard hit there, folks. So anyways, continuing on with the facts of the track, we have, so it opened in 1986, and there are many major events there, such as the Formula 1, obviously, as we see it now. There's also the Grand Prix motorcycle racing, there's the Superbike World Championship, Hungaroring Superbike World Championship Grand Prix, FIA World Touring Car Championship, World Series by Renault, and the FIA GT Championship. So yeah, there are a lot of series that race here, and it's also a track for motorcycles, which not a lot of tracks are. As I said earlier, 14 turns. The length of the track is 4.31 kilometers, or 2.722 miles for you Americans. The fastest lap during the race, not during qualifying, is a 1:16.627 set by Lewis Hamilton in 2020, so at the recent race. And yeah, I'd say that's all for now.
Alrighty, thank you for that, Kai. So yeah, Cam is out, as you saw there, and we both caught it on our streams, I'm assuming, since you saw it. But at least he set an okay time, I guess. 1:17.5 isn't terrible. Being that the other guys are sitting at 1:16s, he might actually be able to hold up in maybe third or fourth. I don't see him dropping all the way down to 6, but it depends on how these guys set a time. Cameron, OJD, and Maddie all get to set a time, and Cameron's still in the pits. So he came out for a little while there, but he's back in again. And while we have 11 minutes left in qualifying, so while all these guys try to either outdo themselves or just set a time in the first place, actually we're going to see Maddie do it right now, and he sets a 1:23.4, so it's a slow first lap for him. And then the OJD sets a 116.3 and bumps himself all the way up into second. So a few updates there. Cameron's the only one left now that has to set a time. So while everybody figures themselves out and Maddie stops in the middle of the track, I'm going to head on over to SheeshRacingLeague.com, the official website for the Sheesh Racing League, and you can find everything you need to know about the league over there, including driver and constructor standings. You can also find the past race results, the league rulebook, and you can also find a place to contact the league owners if need be. So I'm going to head on over to the standings. I'm going to go through the driver standings first, and then the constructor standings. So, going through the drivers, in first is C. Burton 91 with 148 points. And then it's Cameron with 129 points. In third is Cam with 100 points. Fourth is Gunslinger with 85. Fifth is Lutzi with 80. Sixth is the kid Zico with 79. And a big gap between him and Maddie in number 7 is 51. Then in eighth is BFG with 40. Ninth is OJD with 37. 10th is Smith with 34. And then 11th would be Kai, but he is no longer running. So then in 12th, Stigmatic with 24 points. 13th is Slim Omnivore with 19 points. 14th is Mad Max with 16 points. 15th is GDB with 10. And then tied for 16th is Nick Dini, Gerbs, and T-Rex, who all have 4. So down into the constructor standings. In first is BWT Racing Point, consisting of our 2 leaders, C. Burton and Cameron, so they make up a total of 277 points. In second is Red Bull Racing with Cam and Maddie, 151 points. In third is Mercedes with Lutzi and BFG, 120 points. No representation for them today. In fourth is AlphaTauri with Gunslinger and Stigmatic representing them in this race, 109 points. Fifth is the Haas F1 team, the kids Zico and Gerbs, 83 points. No representation for them. And sixth is Williams, Wild Die, and Mad Max. And Wild Die is no longer running, but he's still here in the standings. So 66 points for them, no representation for Williams. Seventh is McLaren, Slim Omnivore, and Smith with 53 points, no representation for them. In 8th is Alfa Romeo with OJD representing in this race, and GDB for a total of 35 points. And then in 9th is Ferrari with T-Rex and Nick Dini for 4 points. No representation for them today either. So that is where all of our drivers and all of our teams stand at the moment. And looking back up at my screen here, I can see that Cameron's still the only one yet to set a time. And everybody else still has the same time that they left with when I went, except for Stigmatic. Stigmatic set a better time there. He was in first for a second. And then Cameron came through with a 113.5, so that's a big jump. Most of these guys are sitting around 116, and then Cameron goes and sets a 113.5, and Stigmatic just went into the median there, trying to get into the pit lane, and knocked off his wing, or at least part of it. And then I'm going to throw you up to Cameron, who is our current time leader. And I guess that's it for me for now. That's all I have to say. Kai, is there anything you want to talk about, or have you covered everything that you had planned as well?
Well, yeah, as you could see, that was a very, very fast lap by RP Cameron there with a 113.5, almost 2.5 seconds faster than Stigmatic, who is in second place, who has already done 2 laps, I believe, on his softs. And, so yeah, Cole Burton has just begun his lap, hopefully, or he is hoping to get higher up the grid, maybe even take first place away from Cameron as he gets a bit loose there coming out of turn number 1. Now coming through the second DRS zone, and through turn number, I believe that is 3 and 4. As there are 14, I wish it showed them on the big mini-map, or the big map that's on the right side of the screen, but it only shows the sectors, which is helpful, so. But, yeah, so I guess we'll just stay on board, or with the broadcast angle on Cole Burton here for his lap as he's coming through the third sector, goes wide. Surprisingly, that is not invalidated. and he comes now down one of the straights.
How strict is this track, Kai?
Yeah, so like Cameron, so yeah, I have a few words actually from Cameron. He said that the track limits, yes, they are actually quite strict. So we should be expecting to see quite a few penalties today. Maybe not as many as Austria was, and the tire wear is also a bit rough on the cars. So you'll see likely a 2-stop, I would say, and I can go more in depth on that before the race starts. So yeah, the strategy will definitely be a big factor in today's race. As a 1-stop or a 2-stop will probably just, like, your race depends on your strategy a lot here, is what Cameron said. And it's also very high pace, especially through Sector 2 and the end of Sector 3. There's a lot of high-speed corners there, and it's also quite hard to overtake. The best places to overtake are in the DRS zones, which are in between turns 14 and 1, so the last turn and the first turn, and then between turn 1 and turn 2 are the two overtaking or DRS zones. And if you do not know what DRS zones are, they are the drag reduction system, which is a method used by F1 drivers to follow their rivals more closely and therefore overtake them. When in a DRS zone, a driver within 1 second of a rival car may activate it, and it gives them additional horsepower to go chase down the car in front of them. So, yeah, even if you want to add anything onto that, more than welcome.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot to add. You kind of got all the information covered there. I guess we can just wait. We'll just wait for the race to start. I was kind of talk my way through things, and we can feed off each other like we usually do, I guess. But we only have 3.5 minutes left in qualifying, regardless. And while you were doing all that talking, C. Burton did set a better time for himself. He's up into second with a 1:15.5. So better than it was, and better than Stigmatic and OJD, but still two full seconds behind Cameron. And yeah, that 1:13 is quite the time.
Yeah, that is a great time. I wonder what his time trial was, but it was probably pretty close to that, because he definitely put in a lot of work this weekend, so he wants the win here. So yeah, it's going to take a lot to catch RP Cameron up in pole position at the moment.
Well, it's not an easy league to win in. We have a lot of talented drivers here, so it's never an easy, or I shouldn't say it's never an easy win, but it's rarely an easy win here. And that's good. You want competition.
And Cole Burton is retired from the session, but I believe he just retired manually. Yeah, he was in the pits already. I think. Maybe he was, I don't know. He was just in the pits.
He didn't set too bad of a time, so I guess he's just happy with where he is, and he's gonna chill out for the last 2 minutes here and just wait for the race to get going. So I might be right, and it's looking like I'm gonna be right about Cam staying in around the third to fifth area, because he is in fifth right now. Matty is 6 seconds off his time, so Matty could end up setting a better time before it's up. And he almost says there. A 1:17.9, but he's still 0.4 off of his teammate. So Cam might be safe with that fifth position after wrecking earlier in the qualifying, but that's a big improvement for Matty. A lot closer than I kind of expected it to be. He hasn't had many great laps here in qualifying, and that was certainly his best, obviously, as he beat his own timeout. But he's probably only going to have he might have another lap after this. Time for another lap after this, but I'm not sure. He might be retiring here manually, because he just kind of pulled off and stopped on the inside of the track, and then now he's going again. I'm not really sure what he's up to.
It's OJD. He goes into the wall as he is on intermediates, even though it does not appear to be raining, but could be a different story for the drivers on track, and he has lost almost all of his front wing there.
Yeah, just about. The full left side is gone, and the end plate is off of the right. I think that's all. I think that's the only problem on his right. Is the end plate. I don't know for sure, but the left is almost fully off. Actually, no, the left is fully off. Really, the only other way would be if the whole wing tore off. So yeah, he lost that left side completely, and the right side isn't looking too hot either. And his laps invalidated.
I don't see any rain, so.
And yeah, his laps invalidated with 14 seconds left, so he's not going to get across that line in time to set another lap. And plus, he has to replace his wing there anyway. So Stigmatic retires. So it's Matty and OJD left, and yeah, neither one of them are going to have time for another lap. Matty kind of messed his own time up there, and he just stopped on the side of the track. So this won't do him any good. And well, we know what happened to OJD. Here we're watching him, so
yeah. OJD will cross the line with pride and the qualifying as he takes 4th position, as he will be starting on medium tires. And will it end the session? Matty just has to enter his pit box, I believe, and then it should end. If not, then he should manually retire, as they hope. Yep, there we go.
So onward we go into round 13 here in the Sheesh Racing League in Hungary on the Garo ring. It is Garo ring. Okay, I wasn't sure. Difference in pronunciation is all that is. So Cameron, Stigmatic, Drip, Seaburden, and Cam M15 will all be starting on softs. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 4th, 6th. OJD and Matty will be starting on mediums. So I'll run through the grid again with you guys in the formation lap. Just had to think of the name of it there. And then we will be getting underway, and you'll get to see some action. So we've just got to wait a moment for everybody to load in. It appears it's going to be a bright, shiny day to race, which is always nice. It's always good to have good weather and not have to worry about any rain. So it looks like it's going to be a good dry track for these guys, and they'll be able to go on with a regular strategy of having their softs and their mediums, or even hards, unless they decide to do something drastic and throw on intermediates or wets. You never know. I mean, last time we saw BFG throw on mediums on a wet track, so I guess you never know, but I don't think anything like that will be happening today.
Yeah, I bet that Cole was definitely hoping that it was going to rain, as he is probably the strongest driver in the rain on the grid here today. But sadly it is not for him. But that'll give some of the other drivers some hope, and give them a better chance to win this. The rain is very tough to drive in, as I have before, and it's not particularly fun. You have very little traction. Even if there's a dry line, it's just very tough to get the car around there.
Well, we're here in the formation lap, and today's race is going to start with Cameron in P1. Beside him in P2 is Stigmatic Drip. In P3 is Seaburton 91. Beside him in P4 is OJD. Then in P5 is Cam, and beside him is his teammate in P6, Matty. If I can speak properly, you guys can understand me. So that is your grid to start. That is where everybody will be starting off for the race. Mind you, there will be plenty of changes throughout, I do assume.
And like I said earlier during qualifying, the tire wear is going to play a big factor in today's race. It is quite high at this track. The softs will likely wear out. I would say I'd say they'd change around maybe lap 9 or 10, and then they could maybe go on like mediums or hards You could make it to the end if you do a soft to hard strategy, or you could do a soft, medium, medium, and it would be probably tough, but you could do a soft to medium to soft. It's not impossible. But those, I'd say, are the possible tire strategies here at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and all the drivers have lined back up on the grid, and getting ready to go green. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and they are off. There you go, some smoke comes off the back of every car. It seems as though it's been a good start for everyone, and Cameron almost gets hit there by Stigmatic, who then spins, and he's gonna go down the order. Let's see if anyone's out. Cole got involved in that, and OJD also got hung up a bit. And there's the tire strategy. So medium, soft, medium, and medium to hard is actually another one. So I got one of them right.
I don't think Cole was too happy about that incident. He kind of ran Stigmatic off the track again. Just ran him into the grass once he got back on. I don't think Cole was too happy with that start. And I mean, I don't think Stigmatic's overly happy with that start either. It definitely wasn't what he had in mind. But regardless, that's just how it is, and there's nothing they can change about it now. And they just got to race. So I'm on board with, I don't know about you, but I'm on board with Matty, who is in third. And he's close behind Cam, and though they are teammates, they may still battle. So I'm just going to stay on board with Matty for the moment. And if it gets boring, it gets boring, but I feel like these two are the type that will probably try to battle each other, at least early on in the race. And Matty on mediums, Cam on softs, and Matty's braking later than Cam, which helps him out, and he passes on the inside and goes into second. But Cam's close behind him. And OJD, Seaburton, and Stigmatic already in the pits, so OJD must have been involved in that collision at the beginning as well. That's the only thing that I can think of as to why he would be in the pits. And we know
I think he got held
Stigmatic
up a bit there, by the crash, because they were both in front of him. I think, yeah. Yeah,
they were. Well, this certainly helped Cam and Matty, who climbed themselves up from 6th and 5th all the way up into 2nd and 3rd. Cameron's still holding on to his spot there in 1st where he started it. And then OJD and Seaburton and Stigmatic all had a bit of a rough start there, and hopefully they'll be able to make themselves catch up, help themselves out, and get back into the race for themselves, and just have a good race to go off. As there's been a few changes for fastest lap, and the ultimate one there is Matty with 120.3. So that is the fastest lap as of now. There are a few changes there, and so yeah, it looks like Matty's going to hold on to it with that time.
Yeah, Matty has moved up a total of 4 positions so far, and Kevin 15 has moved up 2. Moving down 4 is Stigmatic Drip, as he started in 2nd. Culverton also moved down 2 positions, and OJD and Cameron have stayed where they started, in 4th and 1st.
Well, yeah, OJD didn't start any better than what he is now, but I mean, he's 26 seconds behind Cam. And then Seaburton and Stigmatic are behind him. So, and then Cameron just picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings already.
Yeah, it's going to be likely similar to Austria, as the track limits are very strict here. Which is probably, I find in the game, the time penalties for like track limits and stuff, they're a lot more strict than in real life. In real life, they won't give you a warning for going off the track by just a tiny bit, such as they do in this game. But it keeps online racing balanced, which is a good thing in a way, as then you would be able to go off the track and use that to your advantage a lot more if they weren't as strict as they were. So it makes it just a lot more fair.
Well, the strictness isn't stopping OJD, who just set the fastest time with a 1:18.9, fastest lap of the race so far. And we're only in lap 4, and there's already been plenty of changes, both in the positioning of these guys and also within who has the fastest lap. I think Maddie had it at one point, Cameron held it at another, OJD now has it. Someone tells me Cam may have even had it at one point, but I can't be sure on that.
Cam M15 is going to come into the pits a lot earlier than I expected. Oh yeah, there's the pit window. Yeah, the tire wear is even worse than I thought it was, so they'll probably be pitting in between lap 5 and lap number 8. So Cameron should be also pitting soon. And Cameron 15 has gone on to the medium tires, and and there he is battling with OJD now. And OJD hopefully should be able to get around him as his tires are a lot more warm, and they make contact there, and they're still side by side. OJD is on the outside, and Cameron 15 gets the better line through turns number 3 and 4, and will stay there. Now OJD still battling it, back down a bit there, as Cameron 15 is going a lot slower through the corners than he is, so he has to get past Cameron 15 as quickly as possible if he wants to get near the front.
Well, you were saying earlier this isn't a good track for overtaking, and Cam is not a good driver to be stuck behind, and Cameron just got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Or a 5-second penalty, so that penalty can be served probably now, while he's still in the pits, actually.
No, it can't be. I don't think those penalties can be served, at least not on this pit stop.
Maybe not, but I believe that speeding in the pits is one of the ones.
Yeah, it can be served, but not during this pit stop.
No, it'll have to be his next one. And so right now he has 8 seconds of penalties, but the one of them is only for multiple warnings, 3 seconds. And here's a jump. OJD broke late there. Either that or Cam broke early, but or braked, I guess. I'm not really sure what the past tense for that is, to be honest. But regardless, OJD makes his way past Cam and bumps himself up into 3rd. And now Maddie is in 1st after Cameron had to go to the pits. But Maddie's going to have to go to the pits himself fairly soon here because he hasn't changed his tires yet.
He did start on mediums though, so that's going to let him go a lot farther into the race than he can on soft. So maybe, I'm probably going to be wrong here, but he might be able to go, I don't know, maybe lap, well, like 15, in between 12 and 15, I'd say. And he'll have to pit for something new. Probably hard, since that was one of the predicted strategies. And time penalties are flying. Let's see.
Stigmatic, Cam, and C. Burton are the 3 that just got penalties. All of them were 3-second time penalties for multiple warnings.
So Maddie and OJD, the only 2 drivers with no time penalties so far.
Yeah, and we're only in lap 7.
Yeah.
So it might be another one of those races where it's just a lot of penalties flying around.
Mm-hmm.
But that pit from, I think it was Cam, really helped OJD, C. Burton, and Stigmatic get back in the race a bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they had to pit in lap 2, so they're at a bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, because their tires aren't too much older. They're probably, I don't assume that that's correct in the top left, where it says 4 laps, considering they pitted on lap 1. But yeah, they're on probably 5 or 6 lap older tires than him, so they will have to pit earlier than Chem and 15.
Yeah,
But
they may have
they'll
to pit
still
an
have to
extra
pit.
time, that's the thing.
Yeah.
They may have to pit an extra time more than everybody else, which big disadvantage
Yeah,
for
they
them.
will. They'll have to pit.
And then Cameron just set the fastest time at the 118.5. So just sliding out OJD's 118.9 from earlier.
Yeah,
So
at the moment, they're
Matty's really just holding on to that first place position. Well, he's 11 seconds ahead of Cameron, and he doesn't want to lose it. I guess he's just gonna try and go for a while, for as long as he can on these tires, and hope. I guess his hope is to gain more time on Cameron so that he can maybe get into the pits and get out without falling too far behind.
Yeah, he technically just gained 3 more seconds on Cameron, as he just got another 3-second time penalty, which will be added on after the race. So Cameron's gonna have to catch up to him soon, as he is gaining on him quite a bit on these new mediums. But he's gonna have to also like lay back a bit on the track limits and whatnot. He's going off the track way too often if he wants to win this race, or have a chance of winning this race. So he's just helping Matty out here, really.
Well, indeed he is, but Matty's going around for another lap without changing those tires, and we're in lap 9 in the same mediums he started with. And I don't know how old those were in the first place. You start with the same tires that you left with from qualifying, and he had a few laps on these ones going into it.
I
So
think
he's
he
really...
had two sets of mediums for qualifying, so he probably used one for, I'd say maybe he ran like 2 laps or so, but it says they're only 8 laps old, and I'd say medium tires, obviously they can last longer into the race. So like I said, he might make it to lap 12, in between 12 and 15 is my prediction for that. And Colburton will pick up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And yes, this is looking like it's going to be another Austrian.
Well, Seabird's making up a lot of time back there. He's gaining on Cam very quickly, it seems. And also, he's putting Stigmatic Drip in his rear view. He's a full 12 seconds ahead of him. And yeah, he's getting real close to Cam now. He's going to be making a look a pass on him very soon, so I'm going to get on board with him.
I'm kind of scared to get on board because my video got copyrighted last time by the F1 management, because they thought it was a clip from the British GP 50th or 70th, 50th anniversary, 70th or 50th anniversary race. I'm just going to stick in the broadcast mode for probably the entire race.
Tries to make a pass on the inside there, I can't get it done.
Inside, here they come around the corner. Colburton is still behind him. He'll go to the inside here as he has DRS. And he locks up a bit, and he pushes Cam 15 out wide, and he will make the pass on older mediums. He appears to just be faster.
Well, Cam has been passed by, I think, either 3 people, or he's been passed 3 times. And each time, I thought maybe the other guy went and braked a little bit late. But I think Cam's is braking early. I think he's just being extra cautious, and it's costing him.
Yeah. Maybe he just doesn't want to get too many time penalties, even though he just grabbed one. So, not sure what his goal is.
Matty's still going on those tires. I don't think he was in the pits while we were paying attention to Seaburton. Which would explain, though, why Cameron is gaining on him as quickly as he is.
Yeah, that was like a 10-second gap earlier.
Yep. And now it's down to 4 and slowly slipping away from Matty. He tried to go on those mediums for a little too long, hoping to get a big gap on Cameron, and instead it's coming back to bite him. And it's actually doing the reverse. Cameron's catching up.
Yeah.
And Cameron's going to have ample opportunity to get into first because Matty has to hit the pits within a few laps, I would imagine. And OJD just got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So now there's one, and it's our guy here, Matty. So we'll see what happens here is they're coming up into that final turn. So we'll see if Matty elects to finally change those tires or if he's going to go for yet another lap. And he is going to go for another lap.
It should pop up the, like, if you started on mediums, what the strategy is to the right, probably in like a lap or two. But Matty's engineer should be letting him know what to do, or in-game engineers, obviously. None
Well, yeah, I'm not really sure what Red Bull's plan for Matty is, or what Matty's plan for himself is, because he's losing it. He's losing time, and Cameron's just taking advantage of that. And I know Cameron's got a lot of time penalties, but Cameron also knows the closer he can get to him before he hits the pit stop, the more likely he is, or the better off he is, because he can gain a lot more time on him and just basically negate those penalties he has in the first place. And don't forget, one of them is a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane, and he can serve that when he goes into his next pit.
Yeah.
And he actually might be able to get a pass on Matty before Matty hits the pits, which would be the best case scenario for Cameron.
If I were Matty, I would just pit right now, and he's not going to, as he's losing probably three seconds a lap at this pace.
Well, I mean, just 3 laps ago, he had an 11-second gap on Cameron when we were watching that battle between Seaburton and a Cam, and then now he's lost it completely, and they're side by side. Matty hangs on to it very, very slightly. And now Cameron's going to go for a pass on the outside. Can't quite get it done, but he gets it done right there. So that's all she wrote for Matty's lead, and he's down to second.
Yeah, Matty's got a pit zone.
Well, he's got 17 seconds on OJD, and we'll see how long that holds. See if OJD can quickly catch up. Because, I mean, it didn't take Cameron too long to come from 11 seconds behind to now being ahead of him by nearly 2. He's gaining on him quick. Mind you, Cameron is also a fast driver. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
A lot of Cameron's faults in past races have been just really mistakes that are avoidable.
Yeah, like
Matty's still going.
And there we go. He should be pitting in this lap for hards, as he's sticking to that strategy that his engineer gave to him at the beginning of the race.
But man, 14 laps on mediums on this track is really something.
Yeah.
He's really making use of those tires. He's making them work. He's making them work.
He's losing time to OJD too, who's on tires that are 2 laps fresher than his. Yeah, Matty's got to get in the pits. He's gonna keep losing time to OJD, not as quickly as he did to Cameron, but he's gonna come out in between OJD and C. Burton as long as everything goes well in the pits, which would still keep him in a podium position. But I'd say Matty will be looking for more than that at the end of the race. Stigmatic drip, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. And let's actually go over all of the penalties here. So, with the most time penalties at 11 seconds, we have RP Cameron, who will likely shrink that down to 6 during his next pit stop. And then tied all with 6 seconds is C. Burton, Cam 15, and Stigmatic. And then OJD with the lowest amount of anyone who has any is 3 seconds, and Matty still, he's keeping to the track, which is good, but he is losing quite a bit of time, but it's better than getting time penalties, I guess. He has 0 time penalties so far.
If I'm not mistaken, the longer he goes on these, though, the more grip he's going to lose as well, which can become dangerous.
I just realized he didn't even pitch. So, I have no idea what he's doing. He's got to pit soon.
I mean, my thought is now not even that he's losing time. It's he's going to lose grip with those, and that can cost him the whole race if he makes a mistake. That's too dire to fix.
Still, he's going to stay out. Really pushing these mediums.
Well, we're about 2 laps away from being halfway through, halfway through the race. So
yeah, there's literally no point because hards can last probably like 10 laps more than mediums. So I don't know, Matty's just throwing this race away. He had probably 3rd place. He might even end up behind C. Burton at this pace, as OJD and C. Burton are both catching him. So.
Now the only thing is, don't forget OJD and C. Burton both might have to make an extra pit because of the way their race started today. So Matty might actually be okay with them. And speaking of that, Stigmatic is back in the pit again. So Stigmatic's race may be over before it even started. He's gonna have quite the catching up to do.
Yeah, he killed any chance of winning in the first corner and spun out and took out.
Let's see if Matty takes a page out of his book and goes in there.
And he'll spin out. Oh wow, that could have been bad. Could have lost his rear tire there.
Yeah, and Matty is finally getting those tires changed. Man, I cannot talk tonight. That's why I've been letting Kai take the lead. Don't know what it is with me tonight, but my speech just does not want to work. It is not exactly great when you're an announcer.
But that's alright. Because it's not like it's the most professional league in the world.
Well, you know, we're trying.
Yep.
That
6 drivers showing up to every race.
That would be a goal, but yeah, it's a long road ahead for sure.
Yep. Hopefully on F1 2021 we will have Season 2 of the Sheesh Racing League. Which I believe EA Sports, I believe they have bought Codemasters, which are the creators of F1 2020 and all the F1 games that have been, or most of the F1 games that have been before it. And so we just have to hope that they do not add too many microtransactions and ruin the game. But hopefully they'll just publish it and let Codemasters do what they want. That's what we have to hope for.
OJD hits the pits now with a 24-second lead on Matty, so he might be able to get in and out with without too much damage done. And as I say that, Matty goes past him, and then C. Burton goes on past him. So no, I'm
Matty's not
very wrong on that.
OJD wasn't going. OJD lost a lot of time there.
Indeed he did, and Cam's gonna get past him too as he's coming out.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, maybe getting a drink, and just didn't press the clutch button. Gas to go.
Well, I don't know, but he's got hards on, he's working on passing Cam and getting back up into 4th though. So we'll see what happens. Cam is on mediums, but they're older, and obviously they're older. OJD is coming out on fresh tires. You're in lap 18. So we are officially a little more than halfway through the race. And
There goes OJD
Cam
to
loses
the
it.
outside, and Cam will spin. I don't think he touched him, or he
And
might have nicked him in the back, but that shouldn't have done anything
I
there.
don't really, yeah, it didn't look like there's a whole lot of contact of any there to me. Looked like Cam just might have went a little too hard and into that bend and
Actually,
almost lost it.
I forgot about that curve when you're going up that hill, and even if you get on that curve a little bit, even the tiniest bit of throttle going, you're gonna spin, and that's what happened to camera 15 there. Probably the worst corner, well, at least in the game, so I assume most drivers don't like it.
Well, Stigmatic just officially got lapped by our leader, Cameron, so we might have a repeat of last race where we get the last guy sitting right behind first, watching things play out.
Yeah.
Happened last week with Cole. He just sat back and he enjoyed the show. There were two people battling up in first and second, and he just watched that for the last few laps of the race. So Matty's still in second after all that, but he's way in second.
Yeah. But Colbert and pick soon too, so he's mad. Yeah, I don't think he's nowhere near Cameron right now, so.
Well, Seabird and Cam both do. I don't think has Cam made a second or yeah, has Cam made a second pit stop yet, or is he still?
No.
He's still going. He's been going for a while, eh?
He's on. Yeah, his tires are 13 laps old.
Yeah.
So are Cameron's, and Cole's are 16 laps. So they will have to pit they'll have to pit soon. Pretty sure Cameron's tires are older than that, because he definitely hasn't pit yet. So, and then Colburton, as he's coming into the pits, will get a 5-second time penalty, which he cannot take off this pit stop. So I don't know if he'll be able to take it off at all. But well, he's going in medium, so he's gonna end on softs. So he will.
Well, will he though? He might try and push those for the last 15 laps, and if he makes another pit, he's gonna be way out of the race. So he might actually try to stretch. He might try to stretch those out.
Did he start on softs?
I don't know because yes he did, I believe.
Yeah, because you have to race on at least 2 compounds during the race, so that's why I was.
So yeah, I think he did. I think he started on softs, but then he had to get them off quickly after the incident with him and Stigmatic and OJD.
Yeah.
So and then he's picked up another one, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. So he might. So if he decides to take another pit, if he doesn't have a choice, then he can serve that 5 second. But just based off of the fact that is his second one and it's 15 laps to go, he might try to stretch them out. Who knows? I guess we'll see as the race goes on what his choice is. And is it just me or did Cameron get a little bit loose there a second ago? Looked like he fishtailed a bit.
Probably. Yeah, coming up that hill. Yeah, well, yeah, I keep forgetting that not everyone started on medium. So Cameron, he started on soft. So I believe he's going to probably switch for mediums again pretty soon, as these ones are 14 laps old. He's maintaining a pretty steady time gap between him and Maddie. So.
Well, yeah, the closest person behind him on the track is Stigmatic, and
there he goes.
He's way behind him. So a lot of big gaps in this race. All are in the double digits, except for Stigmatic, who's quickly gaining on Cam. Did Cam lose it? I don't see any damage to his car. But Stigmatic, all of us, just like really jumped in time there. I'm not sure what happened. So Cam must have gotten slowed up somehow. Speaking of Cam, his teammate Matty is up in second, still the only one with no time penalties on his name, or any penalties at all for that matter. And Cameron is back out in racing, and Matty made up a lot of time, was able to make up a lot of time, I suppose, because of Cameron's pit, which, I mean, Cameron didn't have a choice. But Matty's within 8 seconds of him rather than 32, so I'm sure he's happy with that.
Yeah, Cameron's probably going to start gaining a lot of time on him though soon. Which is expected, as he has been very fast and he's on fresher lighter or pressure tires, and he's on the softer compound as well. And there it is, already 9 seconds. It was 8 when I started that sentence.
I'm not sure what's going on in back. Because Stigmatic, like, I think he was in the 20s behind Cam. I'm not sure, but he's at least, I want to say anywhere from around 14 to 20 seconds behind Cam, and then he just jumped like way up to 4. So Cam must have spun himself out or something. Stigmatic just like really made a big jump in time there, and he's kind of put himself in contention for 5th, depending on how well he races and how well Cam races going into the end of it.
Oh, it's because Cam pitted. That's why.
Did he? Is that what it was? I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. I just see now that it says 0 laps on these mediums.
Maybe what it was is that Cam, I mean, was in the pits, and then when he came out, that's when the time adjusted, and that's why it looked so drastic.
Yeah.
That's actually probably exactly what it was.
It was probably in the 30s, actually, or late 20s, the time gap between them. Now it's only 4.5 seconds as Cam is gaining time on Stigmatic on the fresher tires. And the gap between Cameron and Maddie is already 13 seconds. Flag in Sector 1 is Stigmatic, I believe. Spun himself out and he reset himself to track, and now he's just sitting there. Didn't catch where he spun out, but that's gonna put him back down there as he's gonna have to let Cameron by him soon.
Well, he made that mistake. Cameron set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:16.7 on mediums, as you can all see, because I'm actually on with him. He's our current leader, and probably going to be the current leader until the very end, because you only have 11 laps to go, and right now the smallest gap is 9 seconds, 9.3 seconds to be a little more accurate, so not a close race with anybody. And I mean, Cameron's about to lap Stigmatic when it would be the second time this race. One thing I can say though is that these guys haven't had a whole lot of trouble car-wise. Not really any collisions, not really any damage done. But like I said, other than that incident in that first, like right in the beginning, yeah, it's been a fairly clean race.
Yeah, also, if you didn't know why people are setting, like Cameron are setting the fastest lap on mediums near the end of the race, is because their cars have gotten a lot lighter as they're burning off so much fuel every single lap, so it makes a big difference in the weight of the car. And I only realized that probably a little while ago. And there's Stigmatic going into the signs to get out of the way for Cameron. Bit over exaggerated there, but okay.
Yeah, I don't think Stigmatic really cares what happens at this point. He knows he's out.
Yeah.
He kind of hit the ground running in this race. OJD and Cole were able to make up a little bit of time positioning, but Stigmatic hit the ground running. Cam's just back in 5th where he started it all, and Cameron's just really been in 1st for almost the whole race, other than the time that he pitted and had to make it up behind Matty. But the only thing that's helping Matty, not anymore, is he picked up a penalty of his own, 3 seconds. I was just about to say the only thing helping him is Cameron has a lot more time penalties to his name. Even still, he has a lot more time penalties to his name than Matty does. So if Matty can catch up a little bit, and get it within.
3 seconds.
Now, yeah, now it has to be 3 seconds, as long as Cameron doesn't serve, unless Cameron serves that, or unless Cameron doesn't serve that 5 seconds, in which case he only needs to be 8 seconds behind him. But that's still a lot of time to make up.
Did serve it. Cameron
Oh, he already
served
did.
it
He already
5
got
seconds.
it. Okay, so yeah, so he has to get within. No, now he has to get within.
Now it's 6. Now it's 6.
As Cameron picks up another one for 3 seconds, multiple warnings. Again. So back to the gaps. The smallest one now is 6. OJD is slowly, very slowly gaining on Maddie. And Stigmatic is 32 seconds behind Cam. So we only have 8 laps to go. And
Hello, Cole.
How's it going, boys?
we have
Going pretty good. How are
driver
you?
Cole Burton in the booth with us while he's still on the track. That's a new one.
Oh yeah. In race reporter, bud.
So how's the race been, Cole?
Well, you see, Stigmatic can't drive in the turn 1, so other than that, it hasn't been bad. Just on my way back here.
Well, you only get 7 laps to do so.
Oh, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not improving position or anything, but unless someone wrecks, but
Which of course is not what you're hoping for.
oh, I don't really care. Could have been an ETP3 with an OJD and Cameron, but I mean, it's what it is. Not too mad about it.
You'll still get pretty decent points.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the worst I could have finished is 6th, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stigmatic has spun out a few times.
oh, buddy, I've
turn
noticed. Just say, buddy did not get his practicing in.
Yeah, Stigmatic's been lapped 2 different times by Cameron, so not having a good race.
Yeah. The great part about that is he's the only one that's been lapped by Cameron.
Yeah.
He's a full minute behind Cam in 15.
Yeah, 40 seconds there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a minute behind you.
Yeah, a minute behind me is what I meant. My apologies, Mr. McMillan.
That is all, Mr. Burton.
I'll also mention that C. Burton here, not only is he a driver, he's also the owner of the league.
It's also a guy who hasn't updated the website in 3 weeks. What's going on there?
Well, I
Yeah,
guess
it still
Cameron
says I
updated
have,
the
like,
website
40
then
some
because the results from the last few races are put in.
No, it's the I think it's the same results from the from one of the races, just copy and pasted. It's not actually the results.
Oh, there you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
And Cam picked up another penalty, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. So he's not helping
for him.
himself.
Well, I mean, let's be honest here. He's not catching me, and he's not going to fall behind Stigmatic, so. But he can.
Well, I mean,
cut all the
you're
corners
up here reporting as you're on the track, so you never know. You could make a mistake down there.
Don't worry, man. I'm professional here.
Did
I'll
you and
move
your
in
team,
drift
did you and
for
your
you here
teammate
if you
Cameron
want.
have some kind of discourse there, or what? Because I know you two were in each other's ear communicating. And then all of a sudden you came up here.
he's throwing too many races away. I didn't want to be the excuse this time.
Yeah, we actually we touched on that earlier, that Cameron's a really good driver, but most of his mistakes are avoidable ones.
Hey, don't talk about it too much. There's still 5 laps left. Commentator's curse, bud. Oh, another penalty. I love that.
Indeed it is. 3
That
seconds from
was
up to the
good.
warnings.
Oh, look who's right in front of me here. Stigmatic. How's it going, bud? See, is he gonna take me out again today or what?
Well, you'll catch him probably this lap, so let's find out.
I'll catch him probably in 2 corners, but I mean, a lock up there. His AI must be driving, because he was fairly decent in qualifying.
Yeah. He must have given up, just wants points.
Yeah,
Not a bad move, because he probably would have taken himself out by now.
yeah, that is true. We'll see when I get up here. Yeah, it's his AI. Can confirm that is the AI. Meaning that if I sit behind him long enough, it'll get out of the way, which is nice. Just like that.
So what you're telling me is Stigmatic threw in the towel a long time ago.
Yeah, that's why he's so slow.
Yeah, I think he just put it on pause mode and left.
Alright, this one's for Millen Bros YouTube channel. Gonna pull a little drift in turn 1 for the boys.
Alright, let's see it, cool.
Sheesh Racing the YouTube channel as well. But... wasn't as good
Very
as that.
nice.
Well, I don't know if you know what a drift is, because it's not that.
Don't worry.
Cole doesn't necessarily want to crash himself out of the race,
I was
though.
trying, but it just didn't go that well. Not gonna do it here. Oh, this we are.
Interesting fact here, Cameron 15 might be getting lapped by Cameron very soon here.
For him. Oh, that's
Cole,
not
you're
good for
not-
Cameron because. What?
You're not, yeah, I suppose you got 31 seconds and 3 laps. Cameron isn't that fast, but...
Cameron's not laughing at me, don't worry. Don't sweat it.
Cam actually got out of the way for him. There you go.
That's incredible. His AI must be driving.
I can probably go check.
Either
Just
that
gonna
or
make assumptions here.
either that or Cam just realized that Cameron isn't actually in contention with him, so he let him go for once. Who knows?
Why am I fourth?
Out of character, though. That would be
Sheesh
out of
Racing
character
number
for him.
1 fan Andrea Zavato asks, why are you fourth? I can answer that question for you, Andrea Zavato. If you want to rewind the stream, go to turn 1, lap 1. You will find out. Gives all the information you need to know why I'm fourth. Well, I hate to tell you boys what to do with your stream, but you might want to go check out OJD Racing right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm on him right now.
Buddy's catching.
Catching Maddie. He is 1.9 seconds behind him, and there are still coming up on 2 laps to go.
Lots of time for him, though. Wish I could watch it.
There
I
already.
can't. I'm gonna
Yeah,
drive.
not close enough to watch.
I don't really feel like slowing down. And another little piece of information for you. I do know for a fact that OJD is running Cameron's setup.
Oh, okay.
So, he found a little bit of pace in that as well.
Took it from time trials, I assume?
Yep.
Well, he may be using Cameron's
Maddie makes a
methods, but
mistake there.
he's still not the master of it because Cameron's a good bit ahead. Now I'm going to get on board with OJD as he's working on Maddie with only a lap
OGD
left
at
to
the
go.
pit on lap number 1. He's right
Yeah,
behind
OJD
Maddie.
got caught up. He got caught up in that same thing with me. That's... Well, he's got to go because he's got 3 more seconds of time penalties.
Oh yeah, he does.
Got to get by and go.
Well, they're coming into that long straight there. So if he can get past them here, he might be able to make up that 3 seconds.
He should be able to pass.
I don't think he's going to.
Oh,
Going
he's
to the
going
inside.
Side by side here. And no, he gets it
him a little
done.
nudge.
He is able to get it
Now
done.
he's got to go.
Maddie's
2
not going
laps.
to go down easy, I don't think.
He's got 2 laps. Make it up. Make up that 3 seconds.
Well, I'm sure Maddie knows the,
Maddie
knows that
knows
he...
situation.
Yeah, I'm sure Maddie knows that he needs to stay within 3 seconds of him. Mind you, he might not have a
Gap's
say in
already
that, because
1
OJD is really pulling the way.
It does say lap 35 out of 35 in the top corner, but for OJD it isn't yet. It's Cameron.
That's just
top
Cameron,
one.
yeah.
Big lock up there. In turn number 13.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I did absolutely clobber the wall and somehow not even get wing damage.
When was that? Just now?
No, that was a while back, but not really too sure how that happened, to be honest.
Are you trying to heat up your engine right now, or?
Oh, that's just a glitch, buddy. I'm not running max revs.
Oh, okay. Cause yeah, I've seen you actually do it.
Okay, Campman 15. So Campman 15 did get lapped, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, he did.
That is great, because that means I can do this.
And Cameron is just going to cross the line to end it.
Alright, Kai, pick a gear, bud. What gear do you want me to finish the race in?
Let's go with lucky number 5.
So that's it. Cameron has finished his race. Cam and Stigmatic are done as well. So OJD,
OJD 's
Maddie,
still
and C.
trying to make
Burton
up
are all
that
going to fall
time.
in. And
More of
then
a gear 1, to be honest.
once they do an... OJD isn't going to be able to get that push on Maddie for the 3 seconds. So Maddie's still going to end up finishing second, despite what it looks like there. So yeah, he comes second, OJD comes third. So those are your 3
Very close.
for today. Cameron, Maddie, and OJD. Cameron in first, so he takes the win here in round 13 in Hungary. And we will see you again next week at the same time as always, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for round 14, and that'll be in Belgium.
Now we'll watch Cole Burton go around on his final lap in in gear number 1. Now it is 4. I think he's might be trying now there.
I can't get lapped, so...
No. You're still going max revs, or is that a glitch?
It's a glitch.
Oh, we'll lose it and into the wall he goes.
So you get,
tenths.
don't you not
Two
get any
tenths on
points
a
for that now
second.
for that Colt?
What?
Do you not? Didn't you just end your race? Do you get points?
Yeah, I'll still finish 3rd or 4th.
Okay then. So now it is officially over. Round 13 in Hungary. Sheesh Racing League is done. You see our winners here. In first is Cameron, and second is Maddie, just barely. And then in third is OJD. So that is it. We are live every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this next Saturday will be no different. We'll be in Belgium for round 14. I'm Aiden Potty alongside Kai McMillan, and we will see you next time.